I keep a huge range, or I try to keep a huge range on our menu. Like, I always have a light beer. I always have a beer that's like, I like Michelob Ultra, and do you have a beer like that? And I go, yeah, I do. I try to have something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Do you like big hoppy beers? Try to have something like that on tap. Try to have something dark on tap. Try to have something that kind of fits everybody, because since we can only sell beer, I don't want anyone to feel excluded. Like, oh, these people make beers that are too intense for me. You know what I mean? Like, I try to keep
Too
it
complicated.
Yeah, like I'll have a complicated beer, but I'll also have like a very simple beer.
I can just come and hang.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And then I think, and then in addition to like kind of like the Jim and Sarah too, like coming at it from like a Hispanic point of view too, in like a city like New Orleans where there is a large Hispanic population, I'm like, I want to make Miel accessible to like the Hispanic population. So I think having like named the business Miel, which anyone who's Hispanic would look at it.
They know.
Yeah, honey. And then like a few of our beers too, like we've named like Spanish names, and so I
What
think,
are some
like,
examples of them?
one of them is our New England triple IPA we named Monstera, which is like a tropical plant that you find in Honduras. And then I like call me a plant lady, so it was like finally
I know, right?
I have an excuse to design just around beautiful tropical leaves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
when it comes
so
to
yeah.
design work, she does a great job with it. She does all the T-shirts. She does all the like social media stuff, like all the imagery you see. She actually builds that. Like,
When
pretty
you
much
do
from the
it
ground.
well, it has insane value.
Yes.
When you do it poorly, you suffer.
There you go.
Yeah.
With every
100%.
stupid little post that you put up, or like,
Oh.
oh, it's not good, the caption. But if you do it well,
Right.
it's what has that influence been on the business? Because that's one thing that I think we're seeing it now, because we're going through the Idea X Accelerator, and there's so much of this culture of the product is so great it's got to sell itself, and the product,
I've
and
been brewing beer for a long time. That's never been the case.
it's just as important that you have somebody in the right position thinking about who are we talking to, what are we trying to say, how do we provide accessibility, which is so fascinating.
Yeah.
How do you navigate that? Like,
Yeah.
what is the Hispanic New Orleans take on beer?
Yeah.
Because at least
Yeah.
personally, I think it's one of the populations that is sort of least served by the general New Orleans culture, because we have a huge Central American population,
Huge.
a huge Central American population.
Definitely.
Why don't we have more businesses that are started by folks that are Central American, that are run by folks that are Central American? Because this is a cool culture, man.
Oh yeah, and I think it's just like accessibility and maybe even like just like knowledge, like where do you begin doing this? And it was like a push. Like I think, like I grew up, like I'm first generation here, so we're gonna take it back.
Take us back to the
Like,
80s.
first generation here, and like my parents' dream for me is to like go to college, get a degree, and have like a job, that that I enjoy doing
Mhm.
and that is like reliable and stable.
Like with a pension.
Exactly.
Type
Yeah.
scenario.
Yeah.
Kind of, yeah.
Like maybe jobs that aren't necessarily like available to you in Honduras. Like
It's
very
like, just
easily-
please be middle class, because this is way better than
Yeah,
being stuck
exactly.
in a more difficult
Exactly.
situation.
Exactly. So I grew up with that mentality, and I did it. Like I worked at an ad agency, and they were like, they had like a clear plan where it's like, you work here 2 years, you'll get a promotion, and in 2 years again, you'll get a promotion. And I'm thinking to myself like, look, mom and dad, I'm doing it.
Yeah.
I'm getting promotions. So when I met Alex and we were just kind of like, well, what if we did our own thing? It was kind of hard for me because I'm like, I'm gonna leave what my parents wanted me to do to go jump into this like unknown. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we could fail, we could not.
And it's at that point, it's not even just about the business. It's almost entirely, like you say, just about, I'm gonna like literally disappoint the people who love me and brought me into this world and have told me their entire upbringing, I want you to have this special experience.
Mm-hmm.
Could you tell us a little bit more about that? Because I think that's something that people pay lip service to, where they're just like, it's kind of an inaccessible environment, or there's a lot of we just don't really know why, but nobody's really, let me say it again. A lot of people are doing a lot of hard thinking about it, but what is your, from the ground floor, like, take us through the process, the kind of
Yeah.
logic, like,
Yeah.
how did you navigate this? Because where
Yeah.
you're at now is that you're running the business, and I'm sure you're experiencing still a lot of this, like,
Oh, yeah,
imposter
that's
syndrome
yeah. Oh my
or
God.
huge
I couldn't go to bed last
anxiety.
night
Oh.
because I'm just like,
Every
what am I
day.
doing? Yeah.
Every day is imposter syndrome. Every day.
Yeah. But I think, so like, like there is like that side where it's like, I want to do what my parents want me to do. Like I'm first generation here. There's lots of expectations. I'm like, they're like not constantly telling me because I can also see it, but like, we're in the land of opportunities. Like it's different than what it is like in Honduras. And I think even though they had this like kind of like what they thought was a plan for me, like when I was like, hey mom, dad, like I'm gonna like reach even higher and like be my own boss.
Yeah.
They were totally supportive, and I think through their like support and like all stressed out, and they're like, calm down, it's gonna be okay. I'm like, you don't understand. I'm using
They're now being calmer for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, so they've been great, and I think, and I don't think they've ever like come out and said this, but like there aren't that many like Hispanic business owners, you know what I mean, like in greater New Orleans, like maybe in Kenner, yes, but there is like this underrepresentation of the Hispanic community. So I think when we approached them with like a business plan and we already knew, we were like, we're gonna name it ME-ELLE. And I think that was like kind of, they were like,
Oh, that's so powerful.
yeah, like staying true to my roots and like, just like bringing this product like into light, and then also like not just into light for like normal kind of bearded dudes, beard drinkers, but just the Hispanic community.
Yeah.
So, I'm like, where was I going with this? So it's scary, but at the end of the day, like I feel like we have my parents' support. I kind of like. Now, before I would be like, well, I don't want to tell them I'm freaking out because then it's going to look like I don't have
then they'll be nervous and they'll
yeah. But it's like now it's like almost the opposite where I feel like I can share anything with them and they're just like, this is just like a little like, what's what I'm looking for? Like this is like almost like nothing. Like this is
like a road bump.
Yeah, like a little road bump.
In the road while you're
You've got the buy-in, you've got the family support in a really powerful way.